Good morning, how's everybody? This is Eric Groh. I want to talk today about the international practice of counseling, and particularly the fundamental question is, can you legally practice counseling in a foreign country? So there are several matters to consider though. One, what are that country's laws for a U.S. licensee practicing in that country? Two, is that country, does that country regulate counseling? And three, there are often many unseen and overlooked ethics and other risks and safety issues associated with counseling in a foreign country. For example, in Israel, the country, particularly the Ministry of Health, regulates psychiatrists, psychologists, and social workers. So you do need what they call a registration to practice those professions in Israel. Now, counseling is not a regulated profession, so generally you can practice in Israel without a license. Now let's use the example of France. In France, you must be on the National Registry of Psychotherapists. They do regulate counseling, social work, anything in the realm of delivering psychotherapy in France. Now, there are specific requirements, however, in terms of your degree and your training, and they tend to be pretty stringent, but it also appears that France does have the option of exercising discretion in accepting that training and education and experience. So, when in doubt, I suggest you go ahead and apply to be on this National Register of Psychotherapists anyway. So, these are two examples of legality of LPC or counseling practice in another country. Now let's discuss ethics and other risks. Now every country has general laws that are completely unrelated to counseling. Now, particularly, there are aspects of culture that are important to understand in order to deliver services to citizens of that country. Now, an example is Eastern Bloc countries. For example, Romania. The wall fell in 1989. And in Romania and many Eastern Bloc countries, the society has its foot in two camps, communism and capitalism. And it's very important that you understand both of those cultures, because obviously communism informs social matters, and so does capitalism. And since you're going to be dealing in social matters and citizens and social matters, it's very important that you understand both. Now, there's another element in international practice, and that is your U.S. malpractice liability insurance will only cover incidents, civil suits, incidents arising within the U.S. So in other words, if you are delivering services either via Tele or residing in that foreign country, if a civil suit arises within that country, then you will need to answer to that in that country's jurisdiction. And your U.S. malpractice liability insurance won't cover that. Okay? So there are a number of factors to consider, but what is important to start with is determine whether counseling is regulated in that country, because that's going to provide the most information about whether you need a license to practice there. Okay, so I'll return with more information about international practice, and in the meantime, go to my website, subscribe to the channel, follow me, like this post, like this video. It helps a lot, and I'll be back soon. Again, go to ethicsdemystified.com, and I do have several free posts on international telemental health practice, and I do have workshops that cover not only international practice, but reciprocity, endorsement, and general issues, both legal and ethical, of practice across state lines. So, we'll see you soon.